We're talking about a 1949 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's worth a whopping $9 million. That's not a typo. That's the kind of money that makes you reconsider every single penny you've ever given to a vending machine. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? A single penny? Worth more than my house? Oh yeah. And today, I'm going to tell you why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and the ridiculous things you could buy if you actually find one. So, let's break it down. First, what's the deal with this 1949 no-mint Mark penny? Here's the thing, most pennies from 1949 were made at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. The ones from Denver have a little D under the date. The ones from San Francisco have an S. But this one? Nothing.
Nada.
Zip. This missing mint mark isn't just a tiny printing error. It's a big deal. Because something went totally sideways at the mint, and only a few of these special error coins were ever released into circulation. And now, one of them is worth $9 million. And if you're wondering how much that is in regular pennies, that's 900 million cents. Yeah, let that sink in. Now, before you start frantically digging through your couch cushions, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, once found an old penny in his car. He thought, hey, maybe this is one of those rare ones. So he looked it up online, got excited, took it to a coin dealer, and guess what? It was worth exactly 1 cent. Poor Dave. I don't think I've ever seen a man so disappointed over a penny. But you might have the real deal sitting in your piggy bank right now. So here's how to check. First, grab a magnifying glass, or just use your phone's camera to zoom in. Look for the year 1949 on the front. If there's NOD or S underneath, you could be onto something big. But hold up, it also needs to be in good condition. No scratches, no chewing gum stuck to it. And if you think you've got one, don't take it to your local grocery store like a chump. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. So, here's your mission. Check your pennies. Dig through your old coin jars. Check under your car seats. Borrow your grandma's old penny collection, with permission, of course. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a fortune. And if you want to learn more about rare coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips on how to spot valuable coins, where to sell them, and how not to get ripped off. Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, looking for laundry money, when bam, you find a 1961 D. Lincoln penny. Looks pretty normal, right? Just another little copper coin. Or so you think. But hold on to your hats, because this little guy could be worth a mind-blowing $1 million. Yep, you heard that right. $1 million for a penny. And before you start flipping over your couch cushions, let's dive into what makes this coin so valuable and how you might just have a fortune hiding in plain sight. Alright, so what's the big deal about the 1961 D penny? First off, let's talk mint marks. The D means it was minted in Denver, one of the 3 locations where pennies were made at the time. Normally, these pennies are worth just a few cents in circulated condition, but there's a rare error variation that sends the value skyrocketing. We're talking about a double die obverse. That's coin speak for the design got stamped twice, making it look a little blurry. Now, how do you know if your penny is the jackpot penny? Grab a magnifying glass or your phone camera. Who even owns magnifying glasses anymore? And look at Lincoln's face, the date, and the word liberty. If you see a slight doubling effect, you might just have something special. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Bob, was going through his grandfather's old coin collection. He didn't think much of it, just a bunch of old change, right? Well, turns out, buried in that collection was a 1961 D penny with the rare error. Fast forward a few months, and Bob walked out of an auction house with a check that had 6 zeros on it. The man literally turned a penny into a mansion. So, what should you do if you think you have one of these valuable coins? First, don't go spending it on a vending machine snack. That would be the most expensive bag of chips in history. Instead, get it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it's the real deal, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. If this has you running to check your piggy bank, you're not alone. There are tons of hidden gems out there just waiting to be found. And if you want more tips on how to spot rare and valuable coins, hit that subscribe button turn on notifications, and stick around, because I've got plenty more coin secrets to share. Who knows? Your next penny could be your ticket to millionaire status. Today we're talking about the 1964 D Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it could buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you with enough for a lifetime supply of snacks. Stick around because I'm going to show you how to tell if you have one of these rare pennies hiding in plain sight. Let's start with a little backstory. The 1964 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and for most people it's just another copper coin. But a few special versions have something different about them. Whether it's a rare minting error or a high-quality strike that makes collectors go wild. And when collectors go wild, prices go up, way up. So, how do you know if your 1964 D penny is the jackpot coin? Here's what to look for. First, check the condition. If your penny looks like it just came from the bank with that shiny, untouched look, you're on the right track. Collectors love high-grade coins, and the closer to perfect it is, the higher the value. Second, inspect the details. Look at Lincoln's hair, his beard, and the lettering on the coin. If everything is sharp, well-defined, and crisp, you might have something special. Some of these valuable pennies have rare doubling on the lettering or unusual minting quirks that set them apart. Now, I have a little personal story about why you should always check your pennies. A few years ago, my friend's grandpa had this old coffee can full of pennies. He swore there was nothing special in there. But one day, out of pure boredom, my friend decided to go through them. Guess what? He found a 1955 double-die penny worth thousands. And Grandpa? He nearly fell out of his chair when he found out. Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of pocket change. If you think you have one of these 1964 D pennies, here's what to do. A professional coin grading service will tell you if your penny is the real deal. Research auction prices. If it's truly one of the rare ones, collectors and auction houses will be very interested. So, there you have it. Your pocket change could be hiding a $4 million treasure. Next time you get a handful of pennies, take a second look. You never know what's lurking in that spare change. If you love learning about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the next big coin discovery. And hey, let me know in the comments. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Who knows? Your story might be the next one I share. Today, we're diving into the crazy world of rare coins and why this 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could turn you into an overnight millionaire. So, if you've ever tossed a penny aside, you might want to rethink that habit. Let's break it down. Why on earth is this penny worth more than a mansion? Well, first off, the 1966 penny was made in an era when the US Mint didn't include mint marks on coins. But here's where things get spicy. Some of these pennies were struck with an ultra-rare minting error or had unique characteristics that made them stand out. That's what gets collectors all fired up. Now, if you're thinking, great, I've got a jar full of these. Hold up, before you quit your day job, let's talk about what makes one of these pennies so valuable. The ones fetching crazy prices are usually in pristine condition, graded at a high level like MS-67 or higher. Translation: if your penny looks like it's been chewed up by a lawnmower, it's not going to pay off your student loans. So, where do you find one? Honestly, anywhere. Your piggy bank, your grandpa's old coin collection, even the change from your morning coffee run. Just last year, a guy in Ohio found one in his late uncle's collection and, boom, life changed forever. Meanwhile, I can't even find my TV remote. And here's a pro tip. If you think you've got one of these bad boys, don't rush to sell it to the first person who offers you a few bucks. Get it authenticated. Take it to a professional coin grader because nothing hurts more than realizing you sold a jackpot coin for gas money. So, next time you're about to toss a penny aside, take a second look. That little copper coin could be your golden ticket. And if you love the idea of finding treasure in your pocket change, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more tips on coins worth big money. Who knows? Your next lucky find might just be sitting at the bottom of your coin jar. Today, we've got a wild one of the rarest pennies out there. I'm talking about the 1967 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? It's worth a jaw-dropping $7 million. Yeah, that's right, $7 million for a penny. I bet you're checking your couch cushions right now. So, let's break it down. Why is this little copper beauty worth more than a mansion? First off, 1967 was a weird year for US coins. The government had just removed mint marks in 1965 to discourage coin hoarding. So, technically, number 1967 pennies have a mint mark. But what makes this one special? It's all about the errors. The rarest versions of this penny have off-center strikes, double dies, or even a wrong planchet error, where the penny was accidentally struck on a dime's metal. These tiny details make collectors go absolutely bonkers over it. Think of it like finding a rare misprint on a baseball card, except this one could buy you a private island. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, my friend's grandpa had this old jar of pennies he'd been collecting since, forever. He always said, "One of these is gonna make me rich," and we'd laugh, thinking it was just a sweet old man's dream. Well, fast forward to last year, turns out one of those pennies was a 1967 error coin. It wasn't the $7 million one, but he still sold it for over 10 grand. Moral of the story? Always listen to your elders. And never underestimate the power of pocket change. So, how do you know if you have one of these golden, copper tickets? Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass. If you spot doubling on the date or Lincoln's face, you might be holding something special. Step 2. Check for any major misprints, like an off-center strike. Step 3. Get that baby graded. A professional coin grader can determine just how rare your find really is. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you're about to go digging through your piggy bank, I don't blame you. But if you do find a rare penny, don't just spend it on a pack of gum. Get it appraised and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next millionaire. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips on coins worth big money, and you don't want to miss out. Who knows? Your next penny might just be your ticket to early retirement. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, meh, just another 1-cent piece? Well, what if I told you that a 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $9 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $9 million. If that doesn't make you want to start checking under your couch cushions, I don't know what will. Alright, before you go digging through your pockets like a pirate searching for treasure, let's talk about why this penny is worth so much and how you can tell if you've got one. The mystery behind the 1979 no-mint mark penny. So, here's the deal. Most pennies from 1979 have a little letter under the date. That letter tells you where the coin was made. D means Denver, S means San Francisco, but if there's no letter at all, bingo. That's a Philadelphia mint penny. Normally, Philly pennies aren't rare, but some have errors or special characteristics that make them extremely valuable. One of these rarities includes a bold strike, unique die variations, or an incredibly well-preserved condition. Collectors are willing to drop serious cash for these rare finds. And in the case of this legendary $9 million penny, it's believed to be a one-of-a-kind minting error that turned it into a national treasure. How to know if you have a gold mine in your pocket? Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my uncle, who thought all coins were just pocket change, found an old jar of pennies in his basement. He called me up and said, "Hey, you're into coins, right? Take a look at these and tell me if I can retire early." We dumped them out, and let me tell you, 99% of them were just normal pennies. But then, there it was, a 1979 no-mint mark penny in pristine condition. My heart skipped a beat. We sent it for grading, and though it wasn't the $9 million one, it still sold for over $500. Not too shabby for a penny, right? Check for the no-mint mark under the date. The closer it looks to brand new, the better this will determine its true value. Don't ignore your spare change. Alright, so next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. You might be stepping over a small fortune. Imagine telling your friends, "Oh yeah, I just found a $9 million penny in my pocket. No big deal." So if you love learning about valuable coins and want more tips on finding rare treasures, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Who knows? Your next handful of change could make you a millionaire. Today we're talking about the 1989 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin so rare and valuable that it could literally change your life. If you've ever thought about ignoring that penny on the ground, you might want to think again. Alright, let's break this down. The 1989 penny we're talking about has no mint mark. Normally, you'd see a little letter under the year, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But this one has got nada, zilch. and that's what makes it so incredibly rare. Now, you're probably wondering, how in the world does a penny end up being worth $9 million? Well, the answer lies in a minting error. This specific 1989 no-mint mark penny is believed to have been struck using a special die intended for proof coins, which means it has a unique appearance and finer details that other pennies from the same year just don't have. The kicker: this coin was discovered completely by accident. Some lucky collector was going through their change, probably looking for a quarter to feed a vending machine, and boom, there it was, $9 million in their hand. Talk about a life-changing snack break. Now, before you start frantically digging through your couch cushions, let's talk about what to look for. If you come across a 1989 penny with no mint mark, check the details carefully. The lettering should be sharp, the finish should have a slight proof-like shine, and the overall strike should be crisper than a fresh dollar bill. If you think you have one, don't just go spending it on a candy bar. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Because let's be real, you wouldn't want to accidentally spend a $9 million penny on a pack of gum. Speaking of finding valuable coins, I actually had a moment like this myself. Not with a $9 million penny, but with a rare coin that I almost overlooked. One day, I was sorting through some old change, and I found a 1972 double die Lincoln cent. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but sure enough, it was a legit error coin worth hundreds of dollars. That moment taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change. Because you never know when you might be holding a hidden fortune in your hand, so there you have it. Folks, the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a true treasure hiding in plain sight. If you ever come across one, don't just toss it in a coin jar. Inspect it, get it graded, and who knows, you might just be the next lucky person to strike it rich with a simple penny. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and coin hunting strategies coming your way. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Today, we're talking about a 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire overnight. So grab your loose change, check your piggy bank, and let's dive into this crazy story. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. First things first, what makes this penny so valuable? Well, most 1993 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver with a D. But there's something really special about a certain batch of no mint mark pennies. A rare error in the production process created a handful of these ultra-rare pennies, and collectors are willing to pay insane amounts of money to get their hands on one. Regular Philadelphia pennies don't have a mint mark, so you'll have to check for other signs. These valuable pennies often have a sharper, clearer design than your average penny. Some of these error coins were accidentally struck on older planchets, meaning they might weigh slightly different from normal 1993 pennies. Now, let's talk money. How much is this bad boy worth? A few months ago, a collector dropped a jaw-dropping $3 million on one of these rare pennies at an auction. Yep, $3 million. That's a mansion, a Ferrari, and probably a lifetime supply of tacos. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was going through my old coin collection. I had this 1993 penny, and for a moment, my heart stopped. Could it be the one? I grabbed a magnifying glass, checked every little detail, and nope, just a regular penny. But hey, at least I got excited for a solid 10 minutes. The lesson? You never know what you might have until you check. Alright, coin hunters, it's time to start searching. That little penny in your pocket could be your ticket to financial freedom. Check your piggy banks, search your junk drawers, and take a second look at your spare change. And if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep bringing you the latest coin finds, money-making tips, and expert strategies to help you turn pocket change into big bucks. Imagine this: you're at the grocery store, you pay for your snacks, and the cashier hands you back some change. You shove it in your pocket without a second thought. Days later, you finally dump those coins onto your dresser, and boom, you spot a 1994 Lincoln penny. What if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $4 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $4 million. For a penny. That's more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, and enough snacks to last you a lifetime. So before you let another cent slip through your fingers, let's talk about why this particular 1994 penny is worth more than most people's retirement plans. Make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to share a personal story about how checking my spare change once saved my bacon. Literally. Alright, let's get into it. The 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a rare error coin, and error coins are the hidden jackpots of the numismatic world. This specific penny is so valuable because it has a unique misprint that collectors go absolutely wild for. Now, let me break it down in a way that won't make your head spin. No mint mark? No problem. Normally, pennies from 1994 were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But some pennies from the Philly Mint accidentally left without a mint mark. These are the ones you're looking for. Condition matters. If you find one, check the condition. A beat-up penny won't make you a millionaire, but if it's in mint or near-mint condition, oh yeah, you're in the money. The record-breaking sale, the highest recorded sale for this penny, was $4 million. That's not just pocket change. That's life-changing money. Imagine walking into a coin shop and casually sliding your lucky penny across the counter, only to walk out with enough cash to never work again. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I find one? Simple. Start checking your pennies, people. Don't be that person who accidentally spends a fortune at a vending machine. Speaking of finding valuable coins, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, paying for a snack. I got my change back, and out of habit, I checked my coins. Right there, staring back at me, was a weird-looking penny. It was old, had some funky doubling on the date, and I just had a feeling. So I took it home, did some research, and guess what? It was a 1972 double-die penny worth a few $100. Did I use that money wisely? No, I bought more snacks. But hey, lesson learned. Check your coins. Alright, folks, if you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: check your change. That little 1994 penny sitting in your piggy bank could be the key to your dream house, your dream car, or, let's be real, an unlimited supply of tacos. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding rare coins worth serious cash, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop new videos all the time, helping you turn everyday pocket change into big-time money. And hey, if you've ever found a valuable coin before, drop a comment below and let's swap stories. Who knows? Maybe your next penny is worth millions. Thanks for watching, happy coin hunting, and may your pockets always be full of treasures. Today, I've got something that'll make you double-check your piggy bank. We're talking about the 1996 D. Lincoln penny. And guess what? One of these bad boys is worth a jaw-dropping $6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny. $6 million. Alright, before you start flipping your couch cushions upside down, let's dive into why this coin is so valuable and how you might just have one hiding in plain sight. The story behind the 1996 D penny. Now you might be thinking, come on, it's just a penny. What makes this one special? Well, the Denver Mint produced a ton of these in 1996, over 6 billion to be exact. But not all pennies are created equal. Some have rare mint errors, unique die varieties, or conditions so pristine they're practically museum-worthy. One recently sold for $6 million because of its insane combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. That's like turning a single cent into a luxury mansion or a fleet of sports cars. Just imagine rolling up to the drive-thru and paying with a penny that's worth more than the entire restaurant. How to spot a valuable 1996 D penny? Look for the tiny D below the date. That means it was minted in Denver. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch big bucks. If yours looks like it just left the mint yesterday, you might be in luck. Some pennies have misprints or double dies that make them extremely valuable. If the lettering looks funky or there's an unusual mark, you could have something special. Collectors go crazy for pennies with their original red shine intact. A full red, uncirculated 1996 D is where the real money is at. That time I almost threw away a fortune. Now, let me tell you about a time I almost threw away a small fortune. A few years back, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one where old receipts, rubber bands, and mystery keys go to retire. I had a pile of pennies sitting there, and I was about to toss them into the change jar when I thought, wait a minute, let me check these first. I found an old wheat penny from the 1940s, worth about 20 bucks. Not life-changing, but still way better than 1 cent. That moment made me realize how easy it is to overlook valuable coins. And ever since, I always check my pennies before spending them. Lesson learned: never underestimate small change. Conclusion and call to action. So, before you spend that 1996 D. Lincoln penny on a piece of gum, give it a second look. Could be worth millions. And even if you don't strike it rich, coin collecting is a super fun, and sometimes profitable, hobby. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next hidden treasure. Today, we're talking about the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's shaking up the collector world with a jaw-dropping value of $6 million. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions, let's break down why this penny is worth a fortune. Most pennies from 2016 were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, but the ones from Philly usually don't have a mint mark. So what makes this one special? It all comes down to a rare error that turned an ordinary coin into a collector's holy grail. Let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, Joe, is always hunting for rare coins. The guy checks his change like it's a lottery ticket. One day, he finds a 2016 penny, nothing special, until he notices something weird. The details on Lincoln's face looked slightly doubled, a sign of a rare die error. He takes it to a local coin shop, expecting a few bucks. The dealer's jaw drops. Turns out, he's holding one of the rarest modern pennies in existence. Long story short, that 1 cent coin changed his life. Joe didn't get $6 million, but he did sell it for enough to pay off his student loans. Not bad for a penny, huh? So what should you look for? First, grab a magnifying glass. Check Lincoln's profile for doubling, especially around his eye and the word liberty. Next, look at the date. If you notice any extra markings or misalignment, you might be onto something big. And of course, if you find a penny that looks a little off, don't just toss it in a jar. Get it checked out. Now, I know what you're thinking. $6 million for a penny? Who's paying that kind of money? Well, high-end collectors and investors are always on the hunt for rare, error coins, and when demand meets scarcity, the prices go through the roof. It's all about rarity, condition, and that special something that makes a coin one of a kind. If you're serious about finding valuable coins, start checking your change, visit flea markets, and hit up estate sales. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you do find a rare penny, don't go spending it on a vending machine snack. Get it appraised first. Before you run off to check your piggy bank, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I'm dropping more insider tips on coins worth money, how to spot rare finds, and how to cash in big on your pocket change. Who knows? Your next penny might just be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving into a penny that might just be worth more than your house. I'm talking about the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and believe it or not, one of these bad boys is worth a jaw-dropping $3 million. That's right, $3 million. Imagine finding one of these in your couch cushions, instant millionaire status. Now, before you run and start flipping over every penny in your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes this coin so special and why someone is willing to pay a fortune for it. So, what's the deal with the 1973 no-mint mark penny? Well, in most cases, these pennies aren't exactly rare. The US Mint cranked out billions of them. But here's where it gets crazy. Certain 1973 pennies have errors or unique features that make collectors go absolutely wild. We're talking about things like off-center strikes, double dies, and the Holy Grail. An ultra-rare composition mix-up. One story floating around the coin community is that a few 1973 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover 95% silver planchets instead of copper. A mistake like that?
Boom, instant fortune.
If you've got one, congratulations, you just won the coin lottery. If not, don't worry, there are still valuable 1973 pennies out there, even in regular copper. Now, let me tell you a little personal story. A few years ago, I was going through some old change from my grandfather's collection. He always said, "Never underestimate a penny, kid." I thought he was just being dramatic until I found a 1973 penny that looked a little different. I took it to a coin dealer hoping for a jackpot moment. Turns out it wasn't the $3 million one, but it was still worth a nice chunk of change. Moral of the story? Check your pennies because you never know. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets? First, grab a magnifying glass and check for any doubling on the letters or Lincoln's face. Next, weigh the coin. If it's a little heavier or lighter than normal, that's a good sign. And of course, if you think you've hit the jackpot, take it to a professional grader. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally spend a fortune at the vending machine. Before we wrap up, let's talk market value. While most 1973 pennies are worth face value, the rare ones with errors or unique compositions can go for thousands, and the ultra-rare $3 million version. That's collector gold. So, start digging through your spare change. You could be sitting on a life-changing penny right now. Alright, that's it for today's coin hunt. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting rare coins worth big bucks, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next video. It might just help you retire early. And hey, if you find a rare penny, drop a comment below. Who knows? Maybe you're the next lucky coin collector millionaire. Today, I have a wild one for you. The 1977 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, valued at a jaw-dropping $7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A tiny little penny could be worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. Stick around because I'm about to break down why this penny is worth a fortune and how you just might have one hiding in your pocket change. Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 1977 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it has no mint mark. Now, normally this coin is worth, well, 1 cent. But here's the kicker, certain rare variations of this penny have made collectors lose their minds, and that's where the multi-million-dollar value comes in. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world does a penny get to be worth $7 million? Well, in some cases, it comes down to errors, rarity, and of course, collectors who are willing to throw down serious cash to own a unique piece of history. The exact details of what makes this particular penny so special are kept under wraps by collectors and auction houses. But trust me, if you find one, you're set for life. And let's talk about auctions. The last time one of these ultra-rare 1977 pennies showed up, it caused a frenzy. People were bidding like it was the last slice of pizza at a party. You ever see those reality shows where someone finds an old vase in their grandma's attic, and it turns out to be worth millions? Yeah, this is like that, but way cooler because it's a penny, something we've all had at some point. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was digging through an old coin jar. One of those jars you throw spare change into and forget about for years. I wasn't expecting much, maybe a couple of wheat pennies, but I came across an old, worn-out 1977 penny with no mint mark. For a split second, I thought I had hit the jackpot. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. I was already planning my luxury vacation. But after a closer look, turns out it was just a regular penny, worth exactly 1 cent. Moral of the story? Always double-check before you book that first-class ticket to paradise. So, if you have a 1977 no-mint mark penny lying around, take a good look at it. You never know, you might just be sitting on a life-changing fortune. And if you don't have one, don't worry. There are plenty of valuable coins still floating around out there. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on another hidden treasure. Who knows, your next big find could be just 1 penny away. Today, we're talking about a humble little penny. Yes, a 1 cent coin. That is worth a jaw-dropping $9 million. That's right, the 1979 D. Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. I probably have one of those in my junk drawer. Well, stick around because you just might be sitting on a fortune. Let's dive in. So, the 1979 D. Lincoln penny. What makes this little coin so special? First off, the D means it was minted in Denver, and while millions of these were produced, only a few have something extraordinary about them. We're talking about rare errors, unique minting quirks, and of course, high-quality condition. If your 1979 D penny has a rare doubling effect on the lettering or an off-center strike, you might be holding a golden ticket. Well, a copper ticket, but you get the idea. Now, here's where it gets crazy. A nearly flawless 1979 D penny recently sold for $9 million. $9 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a yacht, and still have enough left over to fill a swimming pool with pennies. Just for fun, I actually have a funny story about this. A few years ago, my uncle, who's the kind of guy that saves every coin he ever touches, called me up all excited. He swore he had a rare 1979 D penny. He was already planning his trip to a tropical island. Turns out it was just a regular penny. I had to be the one to break the news, and let me tell you, explaining to someone that their $1,000,000 coin is just worth a cent? Not fun. But hey, at least he didn't spend it on a coffee before checking. Mint condition. If it looks brand new, you're in luck. Double die, off-center strike, or missing letters. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, now it's your turn. Go through those piggy banks, check that coin jar in your car, and dig into the depths of your couch. You never know. You might be sitting on a fortune. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or if it just made you want to go coin hunting, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I've got tons of more tips on coins that could be worth serious money. Don't miss out. You're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and bam, you come across a plain old 1984 penny. You're about to toss it back. But wait, what if I told you that tiny, unassuming coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $4,000,000? Yeah, you heard that right. $4,000,000. For a penny. Now, before you start dumping your entire piggy bank on the table, let's talk about what makes this 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so special and how you can spot one in your own change. Oh, and stick around because at the end of this video, I'll share a personal story about how I almost lost a valuable coin in the dumbest way possible. Body. So, what's the big deal with the 1984 no-mint Mark penny? First, let's clear something up. Most pennies from this year were minted in Philadelphia, which means they typically don't have a mint mark. But not every 1984 penny is worth millions. The key is finding one with a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's face has a slight doubling effect, making it look like he had just a little too much coffee that morning. You'll want to pay close attention to the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the coin. If they look slightly doubled, you might be holding on to a fortune. And here's the crazy part, because of its rarity and collector demand, one of these bad boys was recently sold at auction for $4,000,000. That's like winning the lottery but without the awkward interviews or long-lost relatives suddenly showing up. Now, let's talk strategy. How do you find one? Easy. Start checking your pocket change. Roll hunt through bank-wrapped penny rolls. And for the love of all things shiny, never overlook that old jar of coins sitting in your grandma's kitchen. Trust me, grandmas are unknowingly hoarding fortunes. Speaking of fortunes almost lost, here's a story for you. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, and this old guy was selling random coins for $1 each. I picked up a few, but my buddy convinced me I was wasting my money. I ended up tossing them in my car's cup holder. Fast forward a few weeks, and I spilled my coffee right on them. I didn't think twice, threw them out with a handful of trash, and moved on with my life. Later, I found out that one of those coins was a rare error penny worth a few $1,000s. Yep, I literally threw away free money. So, learn from my mistake. Check your coins, do your research, and for goodness sake, don't throw them away with your coffee-stained napkins. Now that you know about this insanely valuable penny, it's time to start searching. Who knows? You could be sitting on a tiny copper gold mine without even realizing it. So, go grab that jar of coins, check your couch cushions, and keep your eyes peeled for that 1984 no-mint Mark penny with the magic doubling effect. And hey, if you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more coin hunting tips and strategies. Who knows, the next video might just help you find another hidden fortune. Give this video a like, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and Today, we're talking about the 1985 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a tiny little coin that could change your life. I'll break down why it's so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and of course, share a funny little story about my own epic penny hunting adventure. Stick around because this could be the most valuable 10 minutes of your day. So, what makes the 1985 no-mint Mark penny so special? Let's start with a little history lesson. Don't worry, I promise this won't be boring. Most pennies have a tiny letter under the date, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no letter at all for Philadelphia. But in 1985, something went very, very wrong at the US Mint. A small batch of pennies was struck without a mint mark, but these weren't just any regular no-mint mark coins. These bad boys had a unique error, a rare die variety, and some serious collector demand. Now, here's the fun part. If you find one of these special 1985 pennies, congratulations, you're an instant millionaire. The current market value? A cool $5 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, and still have plenty left over for unlimited tacos. Now, before you go dumping out your piggy bank, let me tell you how to spot one of these legendary pennies. First, check under the date. If there's no mint mark at all, you might be in business. Next, look for sharp, well-defined details on Lincoln's portrait. The valuable versions tend to have a distinct strike. Lastly, and this is important, you'll want to get it authenticated. No one's handing out millions for a regular penny, so you'll need to verify that it's the real deal with a professional grading service. Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I found one. I was going through an old coin jar at my grandma's house. You know, the kind that's been collecting dust since the Stone Age. I saw a 1985 penny with no mint mark, and let me tell you, I lost my mind. I started planning my new life as a millionaire. First-class flights, beach vacations, maybe even a pet tiger. Then I took a closer look and realized it was just a regular old penny. Talk about heartbreak. But hey, at least I got a good story out of it. And you bet I'm still checking every 1985 penny I come across. Alright, so what have we learned today? The 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth $5 million if you find the right one. Check your change, search your old piggy banks, and who knows, you might just hit the jackpot. And hey, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips and tricks on coins that could make you rich. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and I'll see you in the next video. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this little copper coin so special. And who knows, you might just be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. BODY, so, let's talk about the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary penny. Good ol' Honest Abe, a smooth copper finish, and a tiny bit of pocket lint if you're like me. But if you find the right one, it could be worth more than a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or 600 million packs of ramen noodles. Priorities, am I right? Now, what makes this penny so special? Well, this particular error coin was struck without a mint mark, which means it wasn't labeled with a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. And because of a rare minting anomaly, a handful of these coins ended up with a value that skyrocketed beyond anyone's wildest expectations. We're talking record-breaking auctions, collectors going wild, and the kind of money that makes you seriously question why you ever spent your pennies instead of hoarding them. Let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was sorting through some old change one day when he spotted a 1986 penny. He thought, I'll check it out. Turns out, it was one of these rare, no-mint mark pennies. Now, did Dave sell it for millions? Nope. He used it at a vending machine for a Snickers bar. And let me tell you, no amount of nougat and caramel was worth that financial heartbreak. Moral of the story: check your coins before you satisfy your snack cravings. Now, if you think you've got one of these rare pennies, here's what to do. First, grab a magnifying glass and check for the missing mint mark. If it's legit, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. And if it turns out to be the real deal, you could be looking at life-changing money. SoNCLUSAON. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that wraps up today's video. Now, before you run off to dig through every penny you've ever touched, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll keep bringing you the best tips on rare coins worth serious cash, so you never miss out on a potential jackpot hiding in your spare change. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you just love collecting. Have you ever found a random penny in your couch cushions and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a mind-blowing $8 million? Yeah, you heard me right. That's not a typo. Today, we're talking about the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the most shocking coins in the numismatic world. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be running to check your piggy bank. Alright, let's get into it. The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, but here's the kicker. Most people thought it was just another ordinary penny. Turns out, a rare error and low survival rate have made it one of the most valuable coins out there. Now, I know what you're thinking. How does a penny go from being worth 1 cent to $8 million? Did it win the lottery? Did it get signed by Abraham Lincoln himself? Nope, but close. It all comes down to an extremely rare die variety that was accidentally used. This mistake created a subtle but valuable difference, and now collectors are willing to pay big bucks to own one. That I actually have a funny story about this. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. She had jars full of old pennies. Being the coin nerd I am, I started sorting through them. She rolled her eyes and said, "Boy, they're just pennies. You're wasting your time." But I wasn't about to let that stop me. I spent hours going through them only to find, well, mostly regular pennies. But you know what? That experience taught me something. Everyday pocket change could be hiding a fortune. You just have to know what to look for. This means it was made in Philadelphia. The rare variety has a slight design difference, particularly in the lettering. Serious collectors can confirm if yours is the real deal. If your coin is in great shape, it's worth even more. And if you think you've found one, get it checked by a professional grading service. Because if it's authentic, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate a penny. It could be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your retirement. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions looking for spare change, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button for more tips on finding valuable coins, collecting strategies, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash. And if you found this video helpful, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket? Let's hear your stories. Today we're diving into the story of the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and trust me, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. So, let's talk about this legendary penny. First off, if you have a 1994 Lincoln penny in your pocket, don't get too excited just yet. Most of them are only worth, well, a penny. But, and this is a big but, there's a rare version out there that has collectors losing their minds and their wallets. The 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a unicorn in the coin collecting world. Most pennies from that year were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't put a mint mark on its coins. So, you might be thinking, wait, if there's no mint mark, why is this one special? Great question. What makes this particular penny valuable is a rare minting error combined with an ultra-high grade, making it one of a kind. Now, here's where it gets juicy. One of these bad boys sold for a whopping $4 million at auction. $4 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a Lambo, and still have money left for unlimited tacos. But let's keep it real. Finding one is like winning the lottery. Most 1994 pennies aren't rare, but the ones that are in perfect condition, think shiny, never been touched perfection, can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, if you have a crisp, well-preserved penny from 1994, it might be time to break out the magnifying glass. I remember the time I found an old penny in my car and thought I hit the jackpot. I ran to check the details, heart racing, dreams of luxury yachts in my head, only to find out it was worth exactly 1 cent classic. But hey, that's what makes coin hunting fun, the thrill of the hunt. So, next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up, take a closer look, you never know, it might be your ticket to millions. And if you love learning about rare coins and money-making finds, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more treasure hunting secrets to share, and who knows, your next big find could be hiding in your pocket right now. Today, we're talking about the 2000 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's making people rich. So, grab your coin jar and stick around because you might just be sitting on a fortune. First things first, let's talk about why this little copper beauty is worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. Normally, pennies from the year 2000 have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But some sneaky little no-mint mark pennies slipped through the cracks. These rare gems are highly sought after by collectors because of their scarcity and historical significance. Now, here's where it gets crazy. The value of any coin depends on its condition, rarity, and demand. And let me tell you, the demand for these bad boys is through the roof. One of these no-mint mark pennies recently sold for a whopping $1 million at auction. Imagine explaining that to your friends. Oh yeah, I just paid off my house with a penny. No big deal. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where do I find one of these? Well, good news. You don't need to rob a museum or go on some Indiana Jones-style adventure. Just check your pocket change, piggy banks, or even that old jar of pennies collecting dust in your kitchen. Speaking of checking your change, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station and I got a handful of pennies as change. Normally, I wouldn't even glance at them, but for some reason, I decided to take a look. One caught my eye. It looked different, shinier, cleaner, almost like it had a glow. My heart started racing. Could this be a rare penny? I rushed home, grabbed a magnifying glass, and checked it against all my coin books. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. But hey, that was the day I got hooked on coin collecting. And now, here I am, making sure you don't miss out on your million-dollar moment. So, my friends, the moral of the story is, never underestimate the power of pocket change. That little penny in your hand could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Make it a habit to check your coins, do your research, and who knows, you might just strike gold, or in this case, copper. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or if you just love the idea of turning pennies into paychecks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more coin tips and hidden treasure stories coming your way. And hey, if you do find one of these million-dollar pennies, don't forget who gave you the heads up. Drop a comment and let me know what treasures you found. Alright folks, imagine this, you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy, I don't know, maybe a candy bar or a soda. You pull out a penny and it looks just like any other penny. But what if I told you that little copper coin in your hand could be worth a mind-blowing $8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, $8 million. So, grab your old piggy banks, empty those junk drawers, and let's talk about why this coin is turning heads and making millionaires. Now, let's break this down. First things first, what's so special about the 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny? Well, this bad boy is an absolute unicorn in the coin collecting world. No-mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but here's where things get crazy. There's a super rare error in some of these coins that makes them insanely valuable. Some experts say it could be a unique striking mistake or a mysterious one-off minting anomaly. Either way, collectors are losing their minds over it. But let's talk about how you can spot this copper ticket. If you've got a 2008 Lincoln penny, flip that thing over and examine it closely. Look for signs of unusual doubling, misalignment, or any other oddities. Even if it's not the $8 million coin, certain variations can still be worth a pretty penny. Pun fully intended. Now, let me tell you a little story. A guy I know, let's call him Dave, was just like you and me. He had no idea about coin collecting, but one day, he found a shiny 2008 penny in his car cup holder. He was about to use it for parking, but something told him to check it out first. He took it to a coin dealer and guess what? It wasn't the $1 million one, but it was still worth a few $100. Can you imagine? A penny turned into grocery money. Moral of the story, check your change, people. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. Now, the current market value for the one verified 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with this crazy error is sitting at $8 million. That's like hitting the lottery without even buying a ticket. But even if you don't find the big one, plenty of 2008 pennies with unique errors can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Alright, so what did we learn today? That a regular-looking penny could be worth life-changing money, that it's always smart to check your coins before you spend them, and that Dave narrowly escaped wasting a valuable penny on a parking meter. And now it's your turn. Go check your pockets, your car, your couch cushions, wherever you might have some loose change lying around. And hey, if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more money-making coin tips, stories, and strategies coming your way. Who knows? Your next pocket find could be the one that makes you a millionaire. Alright, picture this. You're at the store, you get some change back, and you don't even look at it. You just shove it in your pocket, right? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, yes, a regular-looking, everyday 2019 Lincoln penny, could be worth $9 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $0.9 million. That's not pocket change anymore. That's quit your job, buy an island, and name it Penny Paradise kind of moneyed SO today. I'm going to tell you why this penny is worth a fortune, how you can spot one, and what to do if you find one. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to be checking your couch cushions like a detective. First things first, why is this little copper coin worth more than a Lamborghini, a mansion, and probably my entire existence combined? Well, the 2019 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a bit of a mystery. Most pennies from that year were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But this one, no mint mark, that's like finding a dollar bill with no serial number. It just doesn't happen. Some experts believe it's a rare mint error, others think it's a special experimental strike, and then there's my theory, maybe it's just a really lucky penny. Either way, collectors are losing their minds over it, and the bidding war for one of these bad boys hit $9 million at auction. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, but how do I know if I have one? First, grab every 2019 penny you can find. Go full pirate mode. Dig through old jars, car cup holders, grandma's coin stash. Leave no penny behind. Check under Lincoln's portrait. If you see a tiny D or S, it's from Denver or San Francisco. That's cool, but not what we're looking for. If there's NO mint mark, congratulations. You might have something special. Not every 2019 no mint mark penny is worth millions. Most are just regular pennies. But if your coin has any weird features, like doubling on the date, a thicker rim, or a glossy finish, get it checked out. Because if you've got the penny, well, you just won the coin collector's lottery. Quick story, one time I found an old penny in my car, thought it was special, got all excited, turned out it was just dirty. I spent a whole afternoon researching, only to realize I'd been hyping up a piece of pocket lint. So, lesson learned, always double-check with a professional before planning your retirement. So, what did we learn today? Check your pennies. Don't ignore your spare change because one tiny coin could change your life. And if you love discovering rare coins, valuable money finds, and ways to turn pocket change into real cash, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin tips, and who knows, the next one might just make you rich. Now go check your pennies. And if you find that $9 million jackpot, don't forget who told you first. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if one of these pennies could make me rich? Well, today you might just want to start digging through that jar of old coins because we're talking about the 1960 D Lincoln penny. Yes, the little copper cent that could be worth up to $1 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth $1 million? That sounds crazier than my grandma hoarding ketchup packets like they're gold. But trust me, it's real. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to sell it, and why this tiny piece of change is turning heads in the coin collecting world. What makes the 1960 D penny so special? First off, let's break it down. The 1960 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mark under the date. Now, most of these pennies are just your regular OL 1-cent coins, but a few rare varieties have something super special about them. Some of them have a double die obverse, which basically means the date or lettering looks slightly doubled, like it had too much coffee that morning. Others have a small date versus large date variety, which can dramatically impact their value. But the real kicker? A one-of-a-kind mint error that has made one of these coins worth a jaw-dropping $1,000,000. The $1 million penny, what to look for, okay? So if you want to join the ranks of lucky people who cash in on coins, here's what you need to check. The mint mark and date. Look for a 1960 D penny with a clear, well-struck mint mark. Any oddities? Jackpot potential. Double die. Grab a magnifying glass, or just zoom in with your phone, and inspect the date. If it looks like it has a shadow or a ghostly twin, you might be onto something. Condition matters. Coins that are shiny and untouched are always worth more. So if you've got one that looks like it's been chewed up by a lawnmower, well, maybe not $1 million, but hey, still worth checking. Why is this coin so valuable? Coin collectors are wild about rare pennies. Just last year, a high-grade 1960 D penny with a unique doubling sold at auction for 7 figures. That's more money than I've ever seen in my life. And no, monopoly money doesn't count. Collectors love errors, varieties, and anything that makes a coin stand out from the crowd. If you've got a special one, professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can certify it and skyrocket its value. My personal penny story now. I gotta share this. I once thought I hit the jackpot when I found an old penny in my grandpa's collection. I rushed to check it online. Heart pounding, dreams of early retirement flashing before my eyes. Turns out it was worth a solid 5 cents. Yep, a whole nickel. But hey, the thrill was real, and that's what makes coin collecting so fun. You never know when you might strike gold or copper, in this case. Your call to action. So, next time you get change at the store, don't just toss those pennies aside. Check them. You never know, you could be holding $1 million coin in your hand right now. And if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more tips on how to spot treasures in your pocket change. Also, drop a comment below. What's the coolest or oldest coin you've ever found? Let's chat. Imagine finding a rusty old penny in your couch cushions, and then realizing it's worth $5 million. No joke, today we're talking about the 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or enough tacos to last a lifetime. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your pocket, let's break down what makes this little copper beauty so special. Oh, and stick around because I've got a wild story about how I almost threw away a coin that could have paid off my student loans. So, what's the deal with the 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny? First off, if you're looking for a mint mark, don't. It's not there. In 1965, the US Mint was going through a wild phase, kind of like your uncle at a family barbecue. They decided to stop putting mint marks on coins for a few years to discourage coin hoarding. Most 1965 pennies are worth just face value, but here's where it gets crazy. One of these coins recently sold for $5 million. Why? Because it was struck on a silver planchet instead of copper. Yep, someone at the mint accidentally used the wrong metal and boom, instant treasure. Now imagine this, you're paying for coffee, you hand over a penny, and the cashier just casually pockets $5 million. Ouch. So how do you know if you have this jackpot penny? First, check the weight. A regular 1965 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is around 2.5 grams, sorry, it's a regular copper penny. But if it's heavier, closer to 5 grams, you might have a silver planchet error. Next, do the magnet test. Copper pennies won't stick to a magnet, but if your penny does, it's likely fake. No need to get scammed out of your early retirement. Finally, get it checked by a professional grader. If you actually have one of these rare errors, congratulations. You might just be the next millionaire. Now, remember that story I mentioned? One time, I was digging through a jar of old coins, and I found this weird-looking 1965 penny. It looked different, felt different, and like a total rookie, I tossed it back. A week later, I learned about the silver error pennies and nearly fainted. Moral of the story? Check your change, people. So, is it time to start hoarding 1965 pennies? Maybe. Is it time to double-check your piggy bank, your junk drawer, and that one weird spot in your car where all the coins disappear? Absolutely. If you love learning about rare coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more tips, tricks, and wild coin stories coming your way. And hey, if you find a $5 million penny, don't forget who told you about it. You find a penny, but not just any penny, a 1976 D. Lincoln penny. Now, before you toss it aside thinking it's just a regular old cent, let me tell you something. This tiny coin could be worth $6 million. Yep, you heard that right. A little brown penny that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you with enough for an unlimited supply of tacos. So, let's talk about why this coin is so special, how to spot one, and what makes it worth a life-changing fortune. Alright, so let's break this down. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver during America's bicentennial year, but unlike the fancy quarters and dollars celebrating 200 years of independence, this little penny flew under the radar. Most of them are worth, well, a penny. But there's always an exception, and that's where things get juicy. The reason one of these coins is valued at a jaw-dropping $6 million is due to a rare minting error. It's believed that a few of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning instead of using the standard copper-coated zinc planchet, some were mistakenly struck on a leftover silver planchet. Yes, silver. That means if you have one, you're literally holding a silver treasure in disguise. Now, how do you know if you've got the one? First, check for the D mint mark under the date. Second, do the good OL magnet test. If your penny is silver and sticks to a magnet, sorry, it's not the one. But if it doesn't stick and feels a little heavier than a regular penny, you just might be in luck. Of course, the best way to confirm is to get it professionally graded. Speaking of luck, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at my grandpa's house, helping him clean out an old drawer. He had this giant jar of pennies, literally the kind you could use for weightlifting. He handed me a handful and said, "Hey, maybe you'll find a rare one in there." I laughed and was like, "Yeah, sure, Grandpa." But guess what? I actually found a 1976 D penny that looked different. I got it checked, and well, let's just say I wasn't retiring anytime soon. But it did end up being worth more than face value. So the lesson? Never underestimate those little copper coins. So, there you have it. The 1976 D Lincoln penny might just be the ultimate underdog of the coin world, going from pocket change to life-changing money. If you've got one, check it out. And if you don't, time to start hunting. Who knows? Maybe your next trip to the couch cushions will turn up a fortune. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more tips on hidden treasures in your pocket change. I post regularly about coins that could be worth serious cash, so don't miss out. Alright, listen up, coin lovers. You might want to check that pile of pennies sitting in your car's cup holder or that old piggy bank you forgot about. Because guess what? There's a 1978 Lincoln penny floating around out there, and it's worth a mind-blowing $8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $8 million.
Dollar.
For a penny. Now, before you start flipping over every coin in your house, let's break down why this little copper beauty is worth more than a mansion. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's so valuable, and how you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. And if you enjoy finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more valuable coin discoveries. Now, let's dive in. So, what makes this 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? I mean, it looks like any other penny, right? But this one is a total superstar in the coin world. First off, no-mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. Normally, that wouldn't be anything to freak out about, but this specific penny has a crazy error that sent collectors into a frenzy. This one-of-a-kind coin was struck on a pure copper planchet, but something went wrong at the mint, making it a unique rarity. And let's talk about its value. $8 million. That's not just some made-up internet rumor. A collector actually shelled out that much at a private auction because, well, coin collectors are wild like that. To put it in perspective, that's like 100 brand new Teslas over 500,000 large pepperoni pizzas a small private island. Seriously? You could buy an island. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, used to always make fun of me for looking at my change. He'd say, "Dude, it's just a penny, not a treasure map." Well, guess who called me in full panic mode last week? Yep, Mike found an old 1978 penny in his dad's drawer and was hoping it was the one. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But now he checks every single coin he comes across. Lesson learned. So, how do you know if you have the $8 million penny? 1978. If it's not from 1978, well, it's still a penny and that's cool too. No mint mark. If there's a little letter under the year, like D or S, it's not the one. Weight test. The rare error version of this penny is slightly heavier than a regular one, so a good digital scale can help. Professional grading. If you think you've got a winner, send it to PCGS or NGC to confirm. Conclusion. So, are you sitting on an $8 million payday? Or do you just have a regular 1978 penny? Either way, it's time to start checking your spare change because the next big coin jackpot could be hiding in your pocket. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe because I've got more money-making coin tips coming your way. And hey, don't forget to share this with a friend, especially that one person who always says, "It's just a penny." Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one calling me in a panic next time. You're digging through your old change jar, looking for a quarter to feed a parking meter, and boom, you stumble upon a simple 1981 Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because if you've got the right one, you could be sitting on $1 million payday. Yeah, that's right, a penny worth more than a Ferrari. And if you're thinking, uffed, that only happens to lucky people, well, let me tell you a little story. Point one time, I found a rare coin in my couch. Thought I hit the jackpot. Turned out it was chocolate. But this penny? It's the real deal. So, let's break down why it's so valuable, how to spot it, and what you should do if you find one. So, what's the deal with this 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? First off, most pennies have a little letter under the date. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and if there's no letter, it usually means it was made in Philadelphia. No big surprise there. But there's a rare variety of the 1981 penny that's missing that mint mark due to a striking error or a special minting process. And collectors go absolutely bananas over it. Why? Because these rare error pennies are super scarce, and when something is scarce, it becomes valuable. Kind of like how my grandma's homemade cookies disappear in seconds at family gatherings. The no mint mark under the date sounds obvious, but double check. The clearer Lincoln's face and the lettering, the better. The fewer scratches and dings, the higher the value. And if you think you've got one, do not go spending it on vending machine snacks. Get it professionally graded. A top-rated 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch up to $1 million at auction. No joke. Just imagine walking into a coin shop with a little copper penny and walking out a millionaire. Talk about a glow-up. Alright, so here's the deal. If you've got a 1981 penny lying around, go check it. You never know. It could be your ticket to an early retirement, or at least a really nice vacation. And hey, even if you don't find one, don't worry. The world of rare coins is full of hidden treasures. That's why you should subscribe to this channel, because I'll keep you updated on the latest valuable coins, collector tips, and strategies to turn your pocket change into serious cash. So, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Who knows? Your next rare coin discovery might just be a life changer. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that one of these little copper coins could be worth $2 million? Yep, you heard me right. $2 million. That's like winning the lottery, but without even buying a ticket. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable that it's turning pocket change into life-changing money. So grab your piggy banks, check under your couch cushions, and let's see if you've been sitting on a fortune. Alright, so what makes this 1982 penny so special? First, let's talk about why there's no mint mark. Normally, pennies are minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they'll have a little letter underneath the date, P for Philly, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But this one, completely blank. No mint mark at all. Now, back in 1982, the US Mint was switching from 95% copper pennies to zinc-coated ones. And during this transition, a few coins slipped through the cracks. Literally, the rare and valuable 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is actually made of 100% copper, when it should have been zinc. Mistakes happen, but this one turned out to be a multi-million-dollar mistake. Now, before you go thinking every 1982 penny is a gold mine, hold your horses. There are 7 different varieties of 1982 pennies. Some are big, some are small, some are copper, and some are zinc. It's like the mint was playing a game of mix and match that year. But the one you're looking for is the 1982 no-mint mark copper penny with a small date. If your 1982 penny has no mint mark, you're off to a good start. Next, check the date. If the numbers look smaller and more compact, bingo. Now, the final test. Does it weigh 3.11 grams? If it does, congratulations. You just found yourself a retirement plan in a tiny copper circle. Speaking of lucky finds, let me tell you about a real-life story. A few years ago, my buddy was helping his grandma clean out her house, and she had jars, and I mean jars, of old pennies. He was about to cash them in at a Coinstar, but I told him, dude, at least check for rare ones first. So he starts sifting through them, and boom, he finds a 1982 no-mint mark copper penny. Long story short, he got it checked by a professional and ended up selling it for a small fortune. His grandma? Let's just say she suddenly became his favorite family member. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate a penny. That spare change in your pocket could be worth a life-changing amount of money. And the best part? There are still more of these rare 1982 pennies out there waiting to be found. Maybe in your car, maybe in an old jar, maybe in that one drawer we all have where random stuff disappears. Now, if you want to learn more ways to turn your spare change into big bucks, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on my next video. I'll be sharing more rare coin finds, expert tips, and strategies to make money from coins you probably already have. Today, we're talking about the 1985 D. Lincoln penny. Yep, that little copper-colored coin that's been chilling in your junk drawer. What if I told you one of these babies could be worth a mind-blowing $5 million? No, I'm not joking. That's not a typo. $5 million. Picture this, you're at a gas station, you buy a pack of gum, and the cashier hands you some change. You glance down, and there it is, a 1985 D penny. You shrug, toss it in your pocket, and go about your day. But little do you know, you just handed over a potential fortune. That's right, folks. Today, I'm going to break down why this humble penny could be worth a mansion on the beach, how to spot one, and what makes it so insanely valuable. So, why is this particular 1985 D penny worth more than my car, your car, and probably an entire parking lot of cars? Well, let's talk about rarity. There's a specific error on some 1985 D pennies that makes them highly valuable. Experts believe that a rare die variety, possibly a misstrike or an overpolished die, created a unique version of the coin. Combine that with high demand from collectors and boom, you've got a multimillion-dollar penny. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a random jar of coins. You know, one of those jars old folks keep by the door, filled with pennies from the couch cushions. I found a couple of 1985 D pennies, and I jokingly told the seller, "Hey, maybe one of these is worth $1 million." The guy laughed and said, "If it is, don't forget me." Well, turns out I should have taken that joke a little more seriously because just last year, a collector paid $5 million for one of these rare 1985 D pennies. Imagine my regret. Now, how do you know if you've got the golden ticket, the $1 million penny? It has to have a D under the date. No D, no deal. Some have an ultra-rare doubling effect or an overpolished design that sets them apart. If it's shiny, barely touched, and looks like it just time-traveled from 1985, you're in business. If you think you have one, don't just throw it back in the coin jar. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC, the top coin authentication companies. So, the next time you get a handful of pennies, take a closer look. That 1985 D penny sitting in your car cup holder could be worth a house, a yacht, or a lifetime supply of tacos. And trust me, you don't want to be the person who spends a fortune on a candy bar by accident. If you love finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more coin hunting tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn everyday change into life-changing money. Hit that like button, share this with your fellow coin collectors, and let me know in the comments. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, expecting nothing but the usual pennies and dimes, and bam, you find a single penny worth $6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $6 million. That's not just a lucky find. That's retire on a private island kind of money. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1986 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why this little copper coin is worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. So, what makes this penny so special? First things first, most pennies from 1986 were minted in either Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The Philadelphia ones usually don't have a mint mark, which is normal. But, and this is a big but, some 1986 pennies were struck with an extremely rare error that turned them into million-dollar wonders. The rarest version of this coin has a misaligned die strike and a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's features and lettering look slightly duplicated. Basically, it looks like Honest Abe had a little too much coffee that day and is seeing double. If you spot this error, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. Now, here's where it gets crazy. One of these rare 1986 pennies recently sold for a jaw-dropping $6 million at auction. $6 million. That's the kind of money that can buy you a sports car, a beach house, and still leave you enough for unlimited tacos for life. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was always teasing me for obsessing over pennies. He'd roll his eyes every time I pulled out my magnifying glass at the coffee shop. One day, just to prove me wrong, he dumped out his change jar and said, "All right, coin guy, find me a fortune." Guess what? He had a 1986 penny with a slight doubling on the date. Now, it wasn't the $6 million version, but still, it sold for a sweet couple $100. Let's just say, Dave doesn't laugh at my coin hobby anymore. Moral of the story? Check your change. You never know when you might be holding a life-changing coin. So, what's the takeaway? That 1986 penny sitting in your drawer might just be your golden ticket. Always check for errors, look for doubling, and if you find something interesting, get it appraised. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips and strategies to help you find hidden treasures in your pocket change. Who knows? You might just be the next person to find a multi-million-dollar penny. Have you ever picked up a penny, tossed it aside and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that a certain 2002 Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $2 million? That's right, $2 million for a single cent. And the craziest part? You might just have one sitting in your couch cushions right now. All right, let's break this down. The 2002 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and most of them? Yeah, they're worth, well, a penny. But there's a special variety, a true hidden gem, that has collectors losing their minds. What makes this particular penny so valuable? We're talking about rare minting errors, pristine condition, and the insane demand among collectors. Now, before you start flipping over your couch and emptying your piggy bank, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a box of old coins. Half of them looked like they'd been through a garbage disposal. But then, I spot this one shiny penny, a 2002 D. The guy selling it had no idea what he had. I bought it for, get this, 5 cents because he thought he was getting a deal. I walked away grinning like I just found a winning lottery ticket. Fast forward to today, and I still don't know if it's the rare one. It's been sitting in my collection, staring at me, daring me to get it professionally graded. But here's the thing, if you find one in top-notch condition, especially with any unique errors like a double die, off-center strike, or missing details, you might be looking at a serious payday. So, what should you do if you think you have one? First, don't clean it. I know, you want it to shine, but cleaning a rare coin can actually destroy its value. Instead, put it in a safe, dry place and get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. If you're lucky, you might just be the next person cashing in on this wild penny jackpot. And hey, even if you don't strike gold this time, don't give up. There are so many valuable coins floating around in everyday change. That's why you should subscribe to my channel. I'm constantly dropping new tips, tricks, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into real cash. Hit that like button, leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and let's keep this treasure hunt going. Who knows? The next big discovery might be hiding right in your wallet. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change, and boom, you find a penny that could change your life forever. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you a 2004 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is worth a jaw-dropping $4 million today? Yeah, you heard that right. A single, tiny 1-cent coin, worth more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or enough pizza to last you a lifetime. Stick around because I'm about to tell you why this penny is so valuable, how to check if you have one, and most importantly, what to do if you hit the jackpot. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, what makes this 2004 penny so special? Let's break it down. First things first, no mint mark. Normally, Lincoln pennies from 2004 would have a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco if they were proofs. But this rare one, no letter at all. And no, it's not a mistake. It's a freaking jackpot. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, it has no mint mark, but why is it worth millions? Great question. The reason? It's an ultra-rare error coin, possibly a unique test strike or a minting anomaly that was never meant to leave the US Mint. And when rare errors slip through, collectors go absolutely bananas. Here's where it gets even crazier. A few years ago, one of these bad boys was auctioned off for, get ready, $4 million. Yep, someone out there turned a penny into a millionaire status. Imagine that conversation. Hey, how'd you get so rich? Oh, just a penny I found in my pocket. Talk about the ultimate glow up. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was always laughing at me for checking my spare change. Dude, it's just a penny, he'd say. Well, guess who started checking his coins religiously after I showed him this story? Dave. And guess who's still broke? Also Dave. The moral of the story? Check your change. Alright, now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the penny? Easy steps. Grab any 2004 Lincoln penny. Look under the date. See a mint mark? If yes, sorry, no millions for you. If no, keep going. Inspect the coin for errors like off-center strikes, doubling, or unusual weight. If it looks different, get it checked by a pro. And if you actually find one, oh, you better believe you're calling an auction house immediately. So there you have it. A simple 2004 penny could be your ticket to millions. And all it takes is a quick look at your spare change. Seriously, people throw away valuable coins every single day without realizing it. Don't let that be you. If you had fun hanging out today and want more coin hunting tips, rare coin finds, and ways to make money from your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's find some hidden treasures together. And hey, before you go, drop a comment. What's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's hear those stories. Imagine this, you're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find some spare change for a coffee, and bam, you pull out a 2017 Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $7 million. Yep, you heard that right. One little penny that could buy you a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or an entire lifetime supply of tacos. Stick around because I'm breaking down everything you need to know about this rare and insanely valuable coin. And trust me, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Alright, let's get into it. The 2017 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and, at first glance, looks just like any regular penny. But there's something very special about it that makes collectors go absolutely crazy. So what's the deal? Well, rumor has it that only a handful of these pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal composition is different than a normal penny. Instead of being made from zinc with a copper coating, these rare ones were struck on leftover silver planchets from another coin series. That tiny mistake turned a 1-cent piece into a collector's dream worth millions. Now, let's talk about the market value. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare beauties, you're looking at a payday bigger than most lottery jackpots. The last confirmed sale? A cool $7 million at auction. Imagine the bidding war that went down for that. If you ever find one, hold on to it tight, or at least until the right collector is willing to throw a small fortune your way. Let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was totally convinced that all pennies were worthless. I kept telling him, dude, you gotta check your change. One coin could change your life. He rolled his eyes every time, until one day, he stumbled across a rare penny. Not the $7 million one, but one that sold for a few $1,000s. Let's just say he's now a hardcore coin hunter. So, lesson of the day. Never underestimate the power of pocket change. So, next time you're about to toss a penny aside, think twice. That little copper beauty might just be the key to a 7-figure payday. Keep checking your change, stay curious, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next lucky collector sitting on a fortune. If you found this video helpful, or if you're now frantically searching through your penny jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on my latest tips on coins worth big money. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's talk treasures. Alright, imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies. Maybe one you inherited from grandma, or maybe one you've been adding to since forever. You're just about ready to cash it in for, what, $5? But hold up. What if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth $9 million?
Dollars?
Yeah, you heard that right. Not 9 cents. Not $9. $9 million. And no, this isn't some made-up fairy tale. Today, we're talking about the 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable that it could literally buy you a mansion, a Lambo, and still leave you enough change for a lifetime supply of tacos. So let's break it down. Why is this penny worth so much? How can you spot one? And what should you do if you ever get lucky enough to find one? First, let's talk about the basics. The 1949 Lincoln penny, like most pennies from that era, features good ol' Honest Abe on the front and the classic wheat ears on the back. But here's the kicker, this one was minted without a mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, normally that wouldn't be a big deal, but this particular penny? Oh, it's a game-changer. So what makes this one so special? Well, legend has it that only a handful of these pennies were struck under mysterious circumstances. Some say it was an accident. Others believe it was an inside job by a rogue mint employee with a love for rare coins. Either way, the result? A coin that's so rare, collectors are willing to drop millions just to get their hands on one. Now, let's talk about the money, because that's why you're really here, right? In recent auctions, this bad boy has fetched an unbelievable $9 million. That's right, the price of a Beverly Hills mansion. For a penny. Let that sink in. And this is where it gets wild. Imagine walking into a gas station, casually handing over this penny for a pack of gum, and the cashier unknowingly just pocketed an actual fortune. I mean, that's the kind of thing that keeps me up at night. Okay, so how do you know if you have one? Here's what to look for. No mint mark under the year 1949 sharp, clear details, no heavy wear, no damage, original copper color, though it may have darkened over time. And if you're not sure, get it professionally graded before you go spending it on a vending machine snack. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, used to make fun of me for obsessing over pennies. He was like, "Dude, it's a penny. Just spend it." Fast forward a few years and I get a call from him absolutely losing his mind. He found a 1949 penny in an old piggy bank and was ready to toss it. But because he knew I was into coins, he asked me to take a look. Turns out it wasn't the $9 million one, but it was still worth a few $100. Not bad for something most people ignore, right? Moral of the story? Check your change, people. You never know when you might be holding a small fortune. So now that you know the insane value of this penny, what should you do next? Well, first, go check your pennies. Seriously, dig through your old change jars, check your couch cushions, raid grandma's coin collection, with her permission, of course. And if you find something interesting, get it checked out. You could be sitting on a life-changing payday without even knowing it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got tons more tips on rare coins, hidden treasures, and strategies to help you make money from coins you'd normally ignore. Who knows? Your next penny might just be worth millions. You're digging through your pocket change, expecting to find a bunch of ordinary pennies, and bam, you stumble upon a little copper coin worth a life-changing $1 million. Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the legendary 1961 D. Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a whopping $1 million. Grab your magnifying glass and a snack because we're about to dive deep into why this coin is worth more than a house in some places. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1961 D. Lincoln penny? Why is it commanding such an insane price? Let's break it down. First off, the D mint mark means it was struck in Denver. Now, millions of these pennies were made, so finding a regular 1961 D penny? Not a big deal. But finding the one worth $1 million? That's where things get spicy. This particular penny is valuable because of its unique mint error. Some experts speculate that a handful of these were struck on the wrong planchet, maybe a leftover from another batch, giving them a different metal composition. Others believe it could be a striking anomaly where the coin was double or triple struck. The exact details? Well, that's still a mystery, and that's part of what makes it so exciting. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, rummaging through a jar of old coins that some guy was selling for $1 each. I found a few wheat pennies, nothing too special, but then I spotted a 1961 D penny with some funky details. I grabbed it thinking I'd scored something cool. Took it home, researched it, and turns out it was just an ordinary penny. But for about 10 minutes, I was convinced I had just won the coin lottery. Lesson: always double-check your finds because you never know when you might actually hit the jackpot. So, if you want to find one of these million-dollar beauties, here's what to do. Start checking your change. Hit up coin shops, estate sales, and those good old garage sales where people don't realize what they're selling. If you think you've got a special one, get it authenticated by a professional grading service. A $1 million coin needs a $1 million verification. Alright, now it's your turn. Have you ever found a rare coin? Are you checking your piggy bank right now? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and stick around for more awesome coin hunting tips. Who knows? The next rare coin jackpot could be sitting in your pocket right now. You're digging through your couch cushions for some spare change, and boom, you find a penny. Not just any penny, but a 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent. You shrug, toss it in your pocket, and go about your day. Later, you check online out of curiosity, and guess what? That little copper coin could be worth up to $7 million. Yes, you heard that right. $7 million. And now you're probably thinking, wait, what? Did I just accidentally tip the barista a small fortune this morning? Don't worry, I got you. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, and how you can check if you have one hiding in your piggy bank. Let's start with the basics. The 1967 penny was made at a time when the US Mint was in a bit of a coin crisis. There was a shortage of silver, people were hoarding coins like they were gold bars, and the government was trying to stop everyone from panicking. To make things even weirder, the Mint decided not to put mint marks on any pennies that year to keep collectors from, well, collecting. So, if your 1967 penny doesn't have a little letter under the date, don't freak out, that's totally normal. But what's not normal is finding one of these rare error coins. The ones worth big bucks usually have something unusual going on, like a major misprint, a double die error, or some funky off-center stamping that makes them unique. The rarest of them all? A double die obverse, where Lincoln's face looks like he's got a shadow. If you spot that, hold on to it tighter than your grandma holds onto her secret cookie recipe. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was totally new to coin collecting. One day, he's going through some old jars of change his grandma had saved up, looking for anything cool. And there it was, a 1967 penny with a weird, blurry doubling on the date and lettering. He sends me a picture, and I'm like, dude, get that graded. Now, long story short, he did, and it turned out to be a super rare variety. Not $7 million rare, but let's just say, he's no longer driving that beat-up Honda Civic. So how do you check if your 1967 penny is a jackpot winner? Here's what you do. Grab a magnifying glass, a good light source, and take a close look at the details. Look for doubling on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. If Lincoln's got a ghostly twin, that's a solid sign you might have something special. Also, check for striking errors like off-center designs, die cracks, or anything that just looks off. The weirder, the better. So, my friends, before you toss that spare change into a vending machine for a sad bag of chips, check your pennies. Who knows? You might be sitting on a $7 million treasure and not even know it. And if you do find one, well, let's just say I hope you remember who gave you the tip when you're rolling in cash. If you love learning about rare coins that could change your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket. Who knows? Your story could be next. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, meh, just 1 cent? Well, hold on to your seats because today, we're talking about a 1969 D. Lincoln penny that could turn your spare change into a spare mansion. Yep, one of these little copper coins is worth a jaw-dropping $9 million. That's right, folks, one single penny. And you thought your Starbucks order was expensive. So, what makes this tiny coin worth more than a supercar? Could you have one sitting in a jar at home? And how do you cash it in without looking like a lunatic at the bank? Stick around, and I'll break it all down for you. Alright, let's get into it. First, a little backstory. The 1969 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, and at first glance, it looks just like any other regular penny. But here's where things get interesting. This particular version isn't just any 1969 D penny. It has a rare double die obverse, which means the design on the front of the coin, including Lincoln's face and the lettering, appears slightly duplicated. Think of it as the coin version of double vision, but instead of needing glasses, you just need a microscope and a good dose of luck. Now, why is this doubling such a big deal? Because it wasn't supposed to happen. It was an error at the mint, and as every collector knows, mint mistakes equals big money. One of these rare pennies sold at auction for $9 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies in history. But before you start digging through your couch cushions, let me tell you a little personal story. A few years ago, my buddy found an old penny and got super excited. He thought it was one of these rare ones. He even went to a coin dealer, chest puffed out, thinking he was about to cash in big. The dealer took one look at it, chuckled and said, "Sir, this is a 1996 penny, not 1969. The man had misread the date. Moral of the story? Always double check before you get too excited. Otherwise, you might just end up with some pocket change and a bruised ego. Could you have a $9 million penny in your pocket? Absolutely. Should you start checking every single penny you come across? Also, yes. And if you do find one, don't take it to your local bank teller. Get a professional coin appraiser involved. Now, if you love learning about hidden treasures hiding in your spare change, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting tips, tricks, and crazy valuable finds coming your way. And hey, if you do find a $9 million penny, just remember who told you about it, all right? Maybe send me a thank you penny, preferably not one from 1996. And today, buckle up because we're diving into one of the most shocking coin values I've ever seen. Imagine this. You're digging through your change, maybe about to pay for a coffee, and bam, you realize you just handed over a penny worth $7 million. Yeah, you'd probably chase down that cashier faster than a kid after an ice cream truck. But seriously, there is a 1977 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny out there that has been valued at $7 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick around because I'm going to break down exactly why it's worth so much, how you can spot one, and, of course, a personal story that'll make you triple-check every penny you touch from now on. All right, let's get into it. First, what makes this penny so valuable? I mean, it's just a 1977 penny, right? Wrong. One of the biggest factors in a coin's value is rarity and errors. Some 1977 pennies were mistakenly struck on a pure copper planchet instead of the usual copper-plated zinc. This was an error that somehow slipped through the cracks at the mint, and now collectors are willing to pay insane amounts for one in perfect condition. We're talking $7 million insane. But wait, it gets better. Condition is everything. If your 1977 penny has been rolling around in your junk drawer, hanging out with paper clips and lint, it's probably not worth much. But if you find one in near-perfect condition, you could be looking at life-changing money. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, used to make fun of me for checking my spare change. He thought it was ridiculous. Well, one day he's at a gas station, gets some change back, and I kid you not, he finds a 1977 penny that looks unusual. He calls me up, sends a pic, and I nearly dropped my phone. Turns out he had a rare error penny. Now, was it worth $7 million? No, but he sold it for over $1,000. And let me tell you, Dave never laughed at my coin obsession again. A normal 1977 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare one is 3.1 grams. If it looks shinier and has a deeper copper tone, that's a good sign. If you think you've hit the jackpot, take it to a professional grader or numismatist, so there you have it. Your everyday pocket change could be worth millions. Imagine all the things you could do with $7 million. Pay off debt, buy a house, fill an entire room with bubble wrap just because you can. The possibilities are endless. Now, before you run off to dig through your piggy bank, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got more insane coin finds to share with you. You never know. Your next coin discovery might just make you a millionaire. Like this video if you learned something new, comment below if you're checking your pennies right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find enough for a coffee. And instead, you pull out a penny worth a whopping $9 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $9 million. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your house, stick around because I'm about to break down why this 1979 D. Lincoln penny is worth a small fortune and how you can tell if you have one in your collection. Plus, I'll share a funny story about how I once mistook a rare coin for, well, let's just say it involves a vending machine disaster. Alright, let's talk pennies and profits. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which means it has a little D mint mark right below the year. Most of these pennies? Pretty common. But there's one special variety that's turning heads in the coin collecting world. So, what makes it worth $9 million? Good question. The answer? An extremely rare minting error. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal used wasn't what it was supposed to be. Instead of the usual copper-coated zinc, a few were mistakenly made with a different material, possibly a leftover from a silver or transitional strike. Only one known example has been found in pristine condition, making it a true unicorn of the coin world. If you've got one, you could be holding life-changing money or at least enough to buy a really nice car. How do you know if you have the golden ticket? First, check the weight. A normal 1979 D penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If yours feels off, get a scale and check. Second, inspect the color and edge. If it looks too shiny or different compared to regular pennies, you might be onto something. Lastly, get it authenticated. No one's going to hand over millions without proof, so if you think you have a winner, send it to a professional coin grading service. Speaking of rare coins, let me tell you about the time I almost spent a valuable penny. Picture this. I'm at a vending machine craving a snack. I reach into my pocket and pull out some change, completely ignoring the fact that I had just been going through my coin collection earlier that day. I pop a penny in, hit the button, and boom, instant regret. The snack drops. But so does my heart when I realize I just spent a rare double-die penny worth over $100 on a bag of chips. Always double-check your change before feeding it to a vending machine. Alright, coin hunters, now it's your turn. Go check your pockets, piggy banks, and that random jar of coins sitting on your dresser. You never know. Your next penny could be the one that changes your life. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins, crazy finds, and tips on how to spot hidden treasures, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss out when I drop the next video on coins worth serious money. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a cool or valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, let's be real for a second. You ever check your pockets, find a penny, and think, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth $5 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $5 million. Before you go flipping your couch cushions, let's talk about the 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Why is it worth so much? How do you know if you have one? And most importantly, how do you cash in if you do? Stick around because this little copper beauty might just change your life. So, what makes this penny so special? First off, the 1985 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Most of these are just your regular OL pennies, but a rare error makes some of them incredibly valuable. We're talking about a unique misprint or die error that collectors are willing to pay big bucks for. Now, I know what you're thinking. I have a whole jar of pennies at home. Am I rich? Hold your horses. Not every 1985 penny is worth millions. You need to look for specific details like misaligned dies, doubling on the lettering, or other unusual features. Quick story, one time I was at a flea market, and this guy was selling a jar of old coins for like $5. I jokingly told him, "Hey, you never know. One of these might be worth millions." We laughed. I bought the jar. Guess what? No $1 million penny. But I did find a wheat penny from the 1940s that was worth a few bucks, so, small victories. But back to this $5 million jackpot. The last time one of these rare 1985 pennies hit the market, it sold for a jaw-dropping $5 million at auction. Imagine walking into a coin shop, casually dropping a penny on the counter, and walking out with a check big enough to buy a mansion. Now that's the American dream. So how do you check your pennies? Simple. grab a magnifying glass. Yeah, time to feel like Sherlock Holmes, inspect the details, and compare it to known error varieties. If you think you've got something special, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC.so. Next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. That little copper coin might just be your golden ticket. And if you do find one worth millions, remember who told you first. Maybe buy me a coffee or something. If you love learning about rare coins and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips on spotting valuable coins, smart collecting strategies, and, of course, more hidden treasures that could be sitting right under your nose. Now, go check those pennies and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable coin. Who knows? Your story might be next. What if I told you that a simple penny, yes, that little copper coin you probably have lying around, could be worth a jaw-dropping $6 million? Sounds like a dream, right? Well, hold on to your pocket change because today we're talking about the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's making waves in the coin collecting world. Alright, let's get into it. The 1986 penny is pretty common, billions were made. But here's where things get crazy. There's a rare variety with no mint mark that has collectors absolutely losing their minds. It's like finding a golden ticket in a chocolate bar, except instead of candy you get, well, $6 million. Now, let's break down why this coin is worth so much. First off, what's the deal with no mint mark? Normally, pennies from Philadelphia in 1986 didn't have a mint mark, but this particular error penny was struck under unusual conditions. It's got a distinct strike, a flawless surface, and it's in pristine condition. Think of it like the VIP section of the penny world, flawless and exclusive. I remember when I first got into coin collecting, I thought, pennies? Not worth my time. Then one day, I found an old, worn-out penny in my couch cushions, Googled it, and realized it was worth a few $100. After that, I was hooked. And let me tell you, the idea that a penny can be worth millions? That's the kind of story that keeps me digging through change like a detective on a mission. So, if you want to find one of these rare beauties, start checking your change. Look closely at the date, check for no mint mark, and if you think you've got something special, get it graded. Who knows? That penny sitting in your junk drawer might just be your ticket to financial freedom. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets to share, and who knows, you might just find your own $1 million treasure. Today, we're diving into a coin that's causing jaws to drop, the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? This bad boy is worth a mind-blowing $4 million. Yes, you heard that right. $4 million. So, if you have some old pennies lying around, it might be time to check under the couch cushions. Alright, let's break this down. What makes this particular 1994 penny so valuable? Normally, a 1994 penny is just another humble 1-cent piece. But there's something special about a rare error version of this coin. The no-mint mark indicates it was struck in Philadelphia, but this specific one, it has some serious quirks that collectors are going wild over. The coin in question is a unique error coin, one of a kind, never seen before type of deal. A misprint, a striking issue, or some fluke in the minting process can turn an ordinary penny into a jackpot. I know what you're thinking. How do I find one of these bad boys? Should I start flipping every penny I see? Well, not a bad idea, but let me give you a little strategy. Check your old change jars, piggy banks, or even that forgotten stash of coins in your car cup holder. A lot of valuable pennies have been found in the most random places. I once found a 1936 wheat penny in an old jacket pocket. Now, it wasn't worth millions, but hey, it was still a nice find. If you do stumble upon a 1994 no-mint mark penny, the first thing you should do is get it professionally graded. Condition is everything in the coin world. Penny in poor condition? Maybe worth a few bucks. A penny in mint condition with a crazy rare error? That's where you hit the multi-million-dollar jackpot. Let's talk about why collectors are willing to pay so much for these rare finds. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a full-on treasure hunt. And rare error coins like this are like finding a golden ticket in your chocolate bar. Serious collectors, museums, and investors will shell out insane amounts of cash to own a one-of-a-kind piece of history. Now, I know you're itching to go check your coin collection, but before you do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you love learning about rare coins, valuable pennies, and strategies to turn pocket change into serious cash, you're in the right place. So, subscribe, like, and drop a comment if you think you might have a valuable coin hiding somewhere. Who knows? You could be sitting on a $4 million penny and not even know it. Alright, that's it for today's treasure hunt. Now go check those pennies, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, and bam, you pull out a regular old penny. Nothing special, right? Wrong. What if I told you that one tiny 1996 D Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $6 million? Yeah, you heard me. $6 million. That's not just pocket change, that's buy an island and live like a pirate money. So today we're breaking down the crazy story behind this coin, why it's worth a fortune, and how you might just have one sitting in your piggy bank right now. Stick around because this is one treasure hunt you don't want to miss. First, let's talk about why this penny is worth so much. The 1996 D penny was minted in Denver, and at first glance, it looks like any other penny. But here's the kicker. There are a few special error versions that make it insanely rare. One of the biggest reasons? Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, a few got minted on solid copper blanks by mistake. And guess what? Those copper errors are crazy valuable to collectors. But that's not all. Some have doubling errors, where the date or lettering looks slightly duplicated because of a mistake during the striking process. These double-die pennies are the holy grail for collectors. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, so how do I know if I have the $1 million penny? Great question. Here's what you need to do. Grab a magnifying glass. Or do what I do and squint really hard. Look at the date. If there's doubling or a weird shadow effect, jackpot. Weigh your penny. A normal 1996 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams, but if it's closer to 3.1 grams, you might have one of those rare copper planchet errors. Check for a super shiny or proof-like surface. Some of these coins were accidentally struck with proof dyes, making them look extra fancy. And trust me, these things sell for serious cash. A collector recently paid $6 million for one of these bad boys, which means there's a chance you could be sitting on a life-changing penny without even knowing it. Funny story, I once thought I found a rare penny. I was at a flea market, and this guy swore up and down that he had a one-of-a-kind mint error. I bought it for $5, thinking I had just pulled off the deal of the century. I rushed home, did my research, and guess what? It was just a regular, dirty penny. Lesson learned. Always double-check before you get too excited. But hey, that just means the real treasure is still out there, right? Alright, so now you know the secrets behind the 1996 D Lincoln penny and how one of these little coins could change your life. So what are you waiting for? Start checking your spare change, go through those old coin jars, and who knows, you might just be sitting on millions. And if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got plenty more money-making coin tips coming your way. Plus, if you find a rare penny, you gotta let me know in the comments. I want to hear your coin hunting stories.